I was muted this entire time, so let's try that again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the grand finale of the Hounds of Mercy, episode 8 of volume 1 of Andake Anthologies. Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. It's grand finale time. I am your GM and executive producer, Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. You can find me on Twitter, Itch, Patreon, etc. at by Connie Chung. That's BYCONNIECHANG. I'm gonna pass around introductions for the last time around this specific table for this specific anthology series, all the way up to Quinn. Quinn, take it away.
Hey, hello, I'm Quinn. My pronouns are they, she. You can find me on Twitter at Quintastic_, and buy my games and shit. Dab. I play Sitlali, who also uses they, she pronouns, and has never done anything wrong in their entire life. So, I'm gonna pass it to Dare.
Violent. Hi everyone, I'm Dare. You can find me on places like Twitter and TikTok at NBDare, ENBYDARE. Pronouns, any and all are fine. Gentle, my lovely they, them. It's gonna be, I'm gonna miss y'all. I'm gonna miss this. And I'm gonna throw it to Humna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at hshahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. And today I will be playing Jaran Kader, who uses they, he pronouns, and I am very scared. So I'm going to pass it on to C.
Hi everyone, I rolled up a new character because obviously Oka is dead. Just kidding. Hi, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I am a dancer, digital artist, tabletop streamer. You can find me on Transplanar on Saturdays. I hope you know who I am because I'm here. I am playing Oka Hien, the Paragon of Sen, everyone's least favorite blood hunter, Aasimar, except for maybe Jaran, but that's maybe a problem. And I will pass it back to Connie.
Wow, what a chaotic round of introductions. Hello, everyone. Yes, a quick couple of announcements before we jump right into the finale. So, as a reminder, Hounds of Mercy, if you're tuning in for the first time, what are you doing here? It's the last episode. Go back on YouTube and watch the previous ones, which I haven't uploaded yet. Hounds of Mercy. Stay. That's a joke. We want you here. Hounds of Mercy is volume 1 of Andake Anthologies, which is a mini-series running parallel to Transplanar RPG's main campaign, but this time featuring all trans, all BIMPOC casts of guest stars. That's right, guest stars. This is volume 1. Hounds of Mercy follows the Hounds of Mercy, the nominal Hounds of Mercy, a very queer, very gay, very chaotically disastrous group of monster hunting mercenaries in the wake of the cataclysm that has wreaked havoc across Andake, trying to put the world back together by slaying, kissing, wooing, who knows? Mercy, their fearless leaders, various Exes, and now we've ended up at the final quote-unquote X, which is, of course, Oka Hie. Not technically an ex, but still a big part of all of the Hounds' lives that we're finally reuniting with. We do have a donation goal. I'd like to direct everyone's gaze to the pink bar to the top left corner of your screen. We were originally aiming for $200, but y'all helped us blast through that. Our new goal is now $500 to end the night. We are $75 away. Can we hit it? And if we hit that goal, no other incentives. If we hit that goal, we will get the greatest prize of all, which is a kiss between Oka and Jaran. That's right, no matter what's happening in the scene, no matter how implausible or improbable, Jaran and Oka will kiss. So donate if you're gay. And if you're not, donate to become gay. And all donations will be split evenly between the cast and crew of Hounds, so 5 of us here, as well as Camp McGeezy, which is an indigenous two-spirit-led collective of mostly queer anarchists who stand for indigenous rights and BIPOC solidarity. The folks behind Camp McGeezy are major leaders in the Stop Line 3 movement in Minnesota, which is where Transplanar RPG is based. So such great causes, please donate. It'll help us out a lot. Looks like someone just donated $25, so we are $50 away. Folks, come on. That's $10 for each of us. If like 5 people donated the equivalent of like a burrito from Chipotle, we'd be there. So as a reminder, Arc 4, Episode 9 of our main D&D campaign, which is all trans, POC-led, non-colonial, anti-orientalist, you know the spiel, is this coming Saturday, November 13th at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. If you're not caught up on our main campaign, no problem. Use !recap in chat to pull up our official recap document where every single episode is recapped in a page or less, and we have like arc-wide recaps for like 3 pages or something. It's totally worth it. Also check out our podcast. We drop at the ass crack of dawn Tuesdays, and we're currently on like Arc 2, Episode 2. It's edited. It sounds much better than our past stream, so check that out if you're into that. And YouTube videos, go to Transplanar RPG on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube, and watch past VODs there. And of course, pledge to our Patreon to help keep the show going. We just cracked like $400 a month or something the other day, so thank you so much to everyone who's pledged to our Patreon. We really appreciate it. We owe you all so much. So use !Patreon to check out our Patreon page. With that out of the way, I think we can get right into it. Starting with, of course, as always, content warnings. Use !CW in chat to pull up a list of these content warnings at any time, so you know the kind of episode that you have strapped yourself into. And please take care of yourself. Your safety is the most important thing to us, as is the safety of our cast and crew. So content warnings for this episode and Hounds of Mercy in general may include panic attacks described in detail, family trauma, relationship trauma, nightmares, death, fantasy violence, gore, self-destructive behavior, and bloodletting. So with that out of the way, let's hop right back into it. Jiran, Sitlali, and Gentle. Electricity crackles through the silent grove. Crooked whips of static stutter through the fog, lashing the mist with red-hot currents of thunder. You sprint through tall, willowy stalks of bamboo. Mercy races ahead, her long red ponytail snapping in her wake. Your boots trample over cloud-soaked earth. Thunder vibrates the air around you. The hair on your arms, your legs, the backs of your necks begin to rise and stiffen as you draw closer to the source of the cacophony. You smell rust, blood, heady and thick, coating the insides of your burning lungs until you break through a wall of bamboo to see Oka. Oka Hien. Wings spread, a black flaming blade coiling out of a tattoo on their left arm you've never seen before. They're prone, wings bent in unnatural directions underneath them, the joints shattered with mathematical precision. Lightning sparks off their skin, red, furious, staining every part of their exposed body. Hold on, wait, it's not lightning, it's blood, isn't it? Crimson, bubbling out of a hole punched through the center of their torso. And crouching next to Oka is someone none of you have ever seen before. A person in a dark cowl, leather armor covering every inch of their body. Their arm is cocked back as they loom over Oka's head, a metal spike glinting in one gloved hand ready to strike down and deal the killing blow. And that's when Mercy shouts, Hey, you! Get the fuck away from Oka! And this person's head snaps up, and all of you see an immaculate bronze mask glimmering within the shadows of their hood. Mercy roars, draws her greatsword, lunges forward immediately, and swings. And this person rolls out of the way just in time as Mercy's sword smashes against the earth. This hooded person turns and begins to flee into the darkness that surrounds this clearing, and Mercy immediately takes off after them. Sitlali, Gentle, Jiran, heal Oka now! There's a hole in there! I'm going after this fucker! And Mercy's gonna turn tail and run after this person. Jiran, Sitlali, Gentle, what do you do?
Jiran is going to yell out, Oka, no! And run, beeline towards Oka, trying to get to them as fast as possible.
Okay, Jiran, you just dart toward Oka, and as you fall to your knees, how are you? I mean, they're prone on the ground, they're bleeding out in the middle of this bamboo grove, their wings are a crumpled, angelic heap underneath them. How are you attending to them?
Duran is going to put like one hand behind Oka's back, like trying to like cradle them essentially, and like the other sort of around them. And they're going to try and just see like what is the extent of their injuries right now.
That's pretty bad. So Duran, why don't you make a medicine check as you fall to your knees? I think the leather, like padding of like your knee armor, like splashes against the earth because it's wet here with Oka's blood. Oka is losing a lot of blood. What did you get for medicine?
I got a 19.
A 19, it does not look very good at all. It seems like something maybe the width of like a thick wooden stake was punched through the center of Oka's chest. And with a 19, you also notice that there's an exit hole between their shoulder blades. Pretty much like right between where their wings come out. It's like a clean hole, just stabbed through the middle of their body.
And it's on their shoulder, right?
It's in the middle of their chest. It seems to have broken through the breastbone there.
In that case, I think Duran is going to, like, underneath their armor, is going to rip a big tear out of their shirt and is going to try and, like, wrap it around Oka's body, like, really tightly.
Okay, with your medicine check of 19, that is successful to stabilize them for now and staunch the bleeding. You rip a length of fabric off of your own clothes and you start to wrap it up around Oka, and like you just see like so much blood just like soaks through the fabric. You have to keep ripping like gauze and like makeshift tourniquets away to like wrap it up until you finally kind of start staunching the bleeding. Sitlali, gentle.
I kind of look at Sitlali. Do you want to heal them, or I can do it?
What are you waiting for? Get over here!
Okay. I run over there and I use the hand of healing.
Okay, how does that work? What does it look like?
One action, 1 key point, 1d8 plus 4. So you're legally getting some health no matter what. That's 10 hit points.
Okay, what does it look like as you crouch? How are you administering this hand of healing, gentle? Describe it to me.
So the hand is glowing with like that gentle, warm orange again. And it's just sort of like trying to start, I think, near the outside of the wound to start just healing it from there. I think Gentle's like, like increasingly like nervous about this, especially seeing how frazzled Duran is, but like just trying to focus in as much as they can.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, you put your hand of healing upon Oka's chest, and Oka, you feel like a sizzling. Everything was sort of like getting dark. It was almost like you were falling backward through voidless space, just looking up at this little screen in the distance where you sort of see a familiar face, blurry, dark brown skin that turns green toward the tips with these horns, this soft white hair falling. You feel it tickling your face, but almost like you're not a part of your body anymore. You're starting to feel very far away from your body, actually, Oka. And then you start to feel like this rushing sensation like all around you as something seems to like forcibly push your consciousness back into your body, and that screen gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The faces come into closer focus. You see like a blue-skinned person with this like curly, darker blue hair framing their face, like maybe this like anxiety sparking in their eyes. As Gentle's administering hand of healing, you start to come back into your body. Sitlali, what are you doing?
I think I am frozen, looking between that and where Mercy ran off. But from where I am, I can cast Mass Healing Word, because that has a range of 60 feet, and that will heal. Because I also know we all got kind of fucked in the Dream Shield, so I'm like, well, if there are more attackers, that would be bad, actually. So that is 3d8 plus 9. Oh, good. 18. So 27 points of healing to everybody.
Nice. What does that
Myself
look like
included.
and feel like, Sitlali?
I think it's a lot more anxious than it normally is, so the weave is like particularly tight, especially with all the activity I think that's like going on in the area. And they just kind of clutch at their holy symbol and like wave a hand almost over like the scene in front of them while also trying to be as observant as possible, but also it's dark, so it's hard to see anything. Yeah. And then I think I finally make up my mind and head over. I start walking over to Oka and everyone else.
Okay, all of you feel this like surge of like magic ripple through the weave, and through the injuries you sustained in the dream shield, you feel them sort of start to stitch themselves up. And Oka, I think Sitlali's magic is what finally punches you back to the surface of your subconscious, and you gasp back awake into your own body. What do you do?
Okay.
And Oka just like shoots, I think, up off Jiran's lap, and the wings that are tangible now and made of feather and bone instead of mist and starlight, and they hover there for a moment, and when their eyes blink open, one of them is also shot through with a bolt of red lightning, and it kind of sparks off their body as they Lianya, it hurts. And they look, because if Jiran was holding them kind of from behind, they see Gentle, and then they swivel and see Jiran. Are we dead?
No.
Are we?
No, okay, you're alive.
No. And they kind of, their hand smacks against their chest. It's gone. It hurts. And then their head swivels again. Sitlali. It hurts. Please, Sitlali, I need you. I need you to do something. It hurts. I think it's gone. I think they took it. Sitlali, it's gone.
Look at me. What did they do?
I think it's not. It's the soul. My soul. I think it's gone. I think they took it. It hurts.
Can you two give us some room? I say, looking at Jiran and Gentle.
Please.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Please.
Okay.
And I
Sitlali.
kneel down next to Oka.
Sitlali, please.
And
please fix it. Please.
Can I see what I can do to fix this? Can I triage this?
Okay, why don't you make an Arcana check based on what Oka's saying?
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Holy cow!
27.
What does it look like as you're assessing Oka's body?
I think this is something that hasn't happened before. And I think as like they focus in on the wound and they kind of like peel back some of the bandages because they have to get a look at it, I think the star like features that are, you're not quite not sure if they're tattoos or birthmarks or like hashtag just changeling things. I think they sort of sparkle in a way that they haven't ever before. In like this, as the weave is like undulating, like some shit is afoot.
Are you getting in proximity to Oka, or are you continuing to stand there? I
am at Oka's side, like on my knees.
At Oka's side, on your knees, you assess the situation, you pull on the threads of the weave that are sparkling around the hole in their chest, and it's like everything just sort of, there's like a zen moment, as everything else just falls away, and like we see sort of like in you, as you cast this magic, like the grove just like turn to starless dark. Jiran, Gentle, fade out of existence. It's just you crouched there, limbed by light above Oka, who's sort of panting and moaning in pain and grasping for you, calling your name, Sitlali. And gods, part of their soul is gone.
Do I feel it anywhere nearby?
No. but you're pretty sure you know who took it. And as you like focus on that like empty abscess in the center of Oka's chest, not just a literal hole punched through their body, but a metaphysical one as well, the image of that like bronze mask and that dark hood swims in front of your face.
Okay. And it's just a hole. It's not like full of something new.
No, it's not. But this, Sitlali, with a natural 20, this should not be possible. It should not be possible to tear a soul apart. Aside from, like, the process of becoming a literal lich, it is even nigh impossible to tear your soul out of your... Like, even the process of taking a whole soul out of someone's body is extremely dangerous. Taking part of a soul out and taking it away is, like, unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. And you have no idea how that's going to affect Oka or if they're going to die soon or anything about what that means about them.
I think I sort of come out of that and put my hands on either sides of Oka's face. They did not get all of it, but they did get part of it.
Is it still there? Is he still there? Is Vinash still in there? Is Vinash still here?
Okay. As you say that, as you invoke Vinash's name, and as all of you hear that god name fall from Oka's scarred, broken apart lips, you all... the hair on the backs of your heads begin to rise again. As this clearing begins to fill with static electricity, little bolts of lightning. Just a little bit at first, but then growing more and more frantic, begin sparking off of Oka's skin. And all of you see Sitlali, you're the one closest to Oka to this nexus point. You see that like jagged red bolt that has gone like split one of their like eyes in half, just sort of start to glow and pulse in tune to like the static jumping off of their body. And I think a rather large bolt, just stray one, just shoots off of Oka's right shoulder and like splits like a copse of bamboo trees in half straight down the middle. As Oka, you continue to say Vinash's name, you start to lose control of Vinash within you a little bit, I think. And all of you hear pouring out of Oka's mouth, almost in like a double speak, like a voice underneath their voice. Even as they're speaking, you hear another voice come in and begin to rise in volume saying, "Pain. Hurt. It hurts. I need healing. I need magic, please. I'm so scared. Help."
Duran, Gentle, get the fuck back. And I just I keep my hands on Oka's face. I have one question before I do this. Was the stranger war real?
As Oka's eyes fly wide at that, the voice that rips out of their body isn't theirs. It's that same crackling, growling, double-layered voice from earlier that just says, No, the stranger, no, they're gone, where are you? Sadaksha, Tristi, please! And poof, I think there's like a massive explosion of like electricity, and all of you hear like almost like a Tesla coil, like starting to like power up, like some grand machinery all around you begin to like thrum and fill the air around you. And Sitlali, your hair is like whipping like a flag in the wind all around your face. Duran and Gentle, who have picked themselves up and are standing at the periphery, your hair also starts whipping. You know what I mean? Like almost like a tornado starting to whip up with Oka as the eye of the storm. And the bolts of lightning get bigger and more frantic. as this thing within Oka, Vinash, is reaching out for you, Sitlali. The name of the stranger seems to have whipped it into a terrified frenzy. What do you do?
Okay, maybe that was a bad time. And I go to cast heal at 6th level.
Okay, how does that work?
So the way heal works is just an auto 70 HP back. But I think something else might happen.
What happened, Sitlali?
Okay, do you want to take it?
Yeah. I think in the terror, as Oka starts to become a literal vessel for the fear of a god of rage, their hands clamp against Sitlali's wrists, that are like still touching their face, and they look up with hunger. All of a sudden, you can fix it. You can fix it. Yes. That, please. And it's this like small smell of necromancy, right? As Oka's blood literally also starts to like lift off the ground and twine their arms to like holding them together. And Vinash starts to not take heal, but to cast life transference instead.
At 6th level. Yep. So yeah. Do you want to roll the dice, Sitlali?
Yes.
See what
I
shakes
do.
out? That's going to be 78 necrotic damage.
Yes, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of them. Oh, golly geez. Alright, so that's, I have my handy dandy calculator out. I'm in danger. 2, 3, 4. I rolled really well for this, which is normally a good thing.
I can't heal you. I can't do anything about this.
Oh, good, that's another 8. Okay, and another 8. So, it does 48 damage to me, and it heals Oka for double.
So that's 96.
Yeah.
Okay, does that drop you to 0, Sitlali, or are you hanging in there?
Let me see. Well, I'm glad I healed us. No, I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I mean, not
Yeah.
fine, but like, I am up.
Right. So Sitlali, why don't you describe to us what this looks and feels like?
So, it starts like a normal heal. Like Sitlali, all of Sitlali's heals do, where like well, I guess Oka hasn't really seen this because it's new, TM. But the like sort of multicolored pastel neon, it's both, I decided, energy just kind of starts to envelop the wound, and like the wings and all of the damage that like they can see. And then I think it takes on like an uncontrollable red sparking kind of energy to it, as like Vinash kind of hijacks that. And I think if I may, there's probably some lightning TM involved.
Yes.
As it, and Sitlali kind of gasps and their eyes go wide as they take this massive amount of damage.
Okay. The little like bonds of blood rope that have sort of whisked around your limbs spark with electricity and sear through your body, right? And like the prismatic colors that were like originally drifting like off of you to heal sort of, I think, shatter in the air, and like a cavalcade of red lightning and a thunderous boom, boosh, and there's like a final like explosion of thunder and lightning that just emanates outward from where Sitlali is holding Oka. And Jiran and Gentle, you're blinded temporarily by a huge flash of red light, and like maybe you're like blinking your eyes to adjust. You can barely hear your own thoughts like above like the howling of these gale force winds that had begun to whip up, and then it starts to die down. And Sitlali, you feel your hair like ripple and then settle with like eerie limpness, like against your own body. And Oka, you feel like so relieved. And you, like as like this hole, this literal hole, physical hole in your torso, like stitches itself up with like the life that Vinash has seized forcibly from Sitlali. It's just like an odd sensation as sternum cracks into place, vessels readhere, blood starts flowing back in the right direction, and muscles sort of contort to reform around that hole blasted through your sternum. And Sitlali, as the blood from Oka's like coiling ropes sloughs off of your arms and splashes wetly against the ground again, what's left in the wake? How are you different now?
I think where all of those blood ropes were just these deep lightning scars that they get the sense they might not be able to changeling their way out of. And they just kind of look down at themselves and look back to Oka with like, Oka, you have never, in your entire time that you have known Sitlali, you have never seen her afraid of anything. She's always very good at affecting that blasé, bored attitude. And I think for the first time, you see actual fear in their eyes.
And when Sitlali looks down at Oka, one of their eyes is crying. These like thick gold tears just coming down their cheek as the other one like flashes with this dull thump of lightning from this storm. I said, stop. Let them go. Please stop. And you get the feeling that they're not talking to you as Vinash gets pulled back down into their chest. I said, leave them alone. I said, leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Oka, the last thing you hear in your own head, I don't know if anyone else hears this of Vinash. Maybe Sitlali does, because of the connection that was temporarily formed. Only Sitlali and Oka hear Vinash. Vinash's final words before he settles back down into your soul is, I'm okay. I'm okay now. Saraksha, Thristy, where are you? I'm so scared. And then he settles back into your soul.
And with this one crying eye, Oka... Is Sitlali still holding on to them? Or have they dropped their hands away?
They are frozen, but they're also like shaking.
Mm-hmm. Oka can feel Sitlali's hands, I think, shaking against their face. And unlike the first time that they grabbed her, Oka's hands like rest on top of Sitlali's. And they try to cast their pitiful ass healing hands. And this like little bit of like strangely warm coming from Oka. You know, this almost like halfway starlit little bit, like kind of almost like the gold tears coming down their face, just like seeps into your fingertips. It only heals you for 11 points of damage, but a little bit of warmth seeps in. And then Oka slumps kind of back down, like curling in on themselves. And the two big wings broken back into place, I think now behind them, like fold all the way in and like almost just like wrap themselves. They kind of like almost wrap themselves up in this like big feather as they start to just sob.
I think Sitlali just kind of sits there for a second and then just looks at Oka and says, "Well, that's not the one that's supposed to be in you, is it?"
No, it's not. No, it's not. And it's like they're moving through a dream, right? Like they kind of like, because they were just completely broken and now they're all the way back, but there's this like heavy emptiness and they look exhausted. Oka, too, was always really, really good at affronting this attitude that they could always fight, that they were always down for a fight. They could always bite back, but they look so tired. And they like kind of just, the wings unfold. They kind of struggle to their feet. And each step looks like it just takes a few more years off, you know? And they look back around at the clearing, at Gentle, and then at Jiran. And they stand there for a long moment, this like new tattoo glistening like it's physically warm underneath their skin. His eye still shot through with this red bolt of lightning. New scars, old scars, hair still cut short the same way. And the wings kind of just like ripple for one moment and start to disappear again, leaving just a handful of like feathers on the ground behind them. And they just look at you, Jiran.
I think the point at which Oka had started to stand up, Jiran had hurriedly taken steps forward to try and catch them, almost as if they were afraid that Oka was going to fall. And you can see that Jiran's hands and arms are covered in your blood at this point from when you were bleeding out, and they were trying so badly to wrap your body in these makeshift bandages. And so I think they come up to you and they're just kind of holding your elbows almost, I think, in a supportive way. And they just kind of look at you with this look of surprise, I think. They don't quite recognize you. But even within that, I think there's a sense of familiarity kind of buried deep inside there somewhere.
Oka, I think, flinches the first time that Jiran touches them. Like they're scared. Not of Jiran, but of the same thing happening again. But when the god stays quiet, they soften, which I don't really think has ever happened before. And they just take 2 steps. If you're holding onto their elbows, they just take 2 steps. And they put their head on Jiran's shoulder. And they just lean against him. And they say, I'm so tired. Sharon. I'm so tired.
It's okay. And Sharon, I think, like, wraps their arms, like, around Oka to hug them and, like, hold them gently. You can tell that they're kind of afraid of, like, putting too much pressure as if they're holding someone made of porcelain or china, like, clearly afraid to hurt Oka, I think, in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of lean down and, like, rest their head on Oka's as well. It's okay. You're gonna be okay. We're here now, and we can talk. We can talk about all of this after.
I don't think. And it's hard to tell if that's like another hiccup of a sob, right? Or if it's a laugh. I don't know what talking is going to do, Sharon.
Sharon, I think, pulls back from the hug a little bit at this and, like, takes one arm off and kind of holds Oka's chin and, like, tips it up to face like, their eyes. Then you don't have to talk if you don't want to. But know that we're here now. You're gonna be okay.
And there's this really bittersweet expression that goes over Oka's face. As they kind of like tilt their head a little. What are you doing here? You foolhardy hunter, what are you doing here?
Stars kiss me always, right?
And Oka looks like they've been caught in their like eyes kind of go for a minute. Yeah. Stars, kiss me.
Dreams
Please.
leave me never. And then Jaron leans in to kiss Oka. And for those of you in the audience, as per C, "Stars Kiss Me Always" is a line from a 2 fable that Oka was using to teach Jaron how to speak 2. Do you want to tell everybody again, like, what it means?
Sure. I think the direct translation would be something like our love is holy, to speak of the stars, but it also means I love you wholly. And there's that kind of double entendre of like whole, and also as divine. Yeah,
And
it's really gay.
And I think the next line, "Dreams leave me never," Oko, you would recognize as being the next line in that fable. And it would translate to, "We will meet again in another life," or "I will remember you."
And Oka kisses Jerome. Their split-lipped, blood-tasting mouth. You're welcome. That was your donation incentive. You got it now. And when they pull away, still with this kind of heaviness, they look up and reach up. Again, like tentative, like they're... And then they reach up and just kind of touch Duran's face, his jaw. You are real. I don't understand you at all.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Where's Mercy?
Oh. And I think at that, Jerron kind of remembers that Mercy was with them at all. And still holding on to Oak, I think Jerron kind of like looks around the clearing. Maybe like looking inquisitively at Gentle as well, as if like, Gentle, like, do you know where Mercy went?
No, I kind of go over to Sitlali actually and just check on them.
Yeah, let's say maybe when while Jiran and Oko were having that very gay, very tender reunion, Gentle and Sitlali, why don't y'all tell us what you were up to?
I think Sitlali is just sitting there staring down at these new scars that kind of go all across their arms and I think a little bit up their neck and into their face, like a little bit. And it's hard to tell, like, if there's much under the armor or not. And I think they're just sat staring at their hands.
I kind of just walk up next to you and were you sitting down?
Yeah.
I sit down next to you, just cross-legged, and I sort of offer you a couple of little like spices just to help you like feel a bit warmer. And I'm just, do you need any healing? Can I help? How can I help?
Hey, Gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have some tea?
Gentle like takes a moment and like tries not to let the excitement of Sitlali asking the tea like belie the weight of everything, and they just start quietly getting everything. But do you like sweet tea or something more bitter?
What's your favorite?
Oh, okay. Well, I have this like nice Rosian mix that I really use. I don't have it often. I save it for very special occasions, and I think this absolutely counts. And I just start making the tea, and I think just kind of sit next to you and just give you a sense of feeling. I know Mercy's okay.
Mercy. And you see their eyes get huge again. Fuck. And they kind of go to stand up, but I think there's like a new sensation that they're taken off by, and they just kind of grab their chest and stay where they are. And then I cast Sending to Mercy, because I have that spell back now, Lonely, get fucked. And I just, Mercy, where the fuck are you? Are you okay? Get the assassin. Babe.
Can she respond telepathically, or can she only
Yes.
receive it? Okay.
She can respond.
Okay. All of you hear Mercy respond, because she is stomping through the forest like a fucking rhinoceros on her way back to the clearing. You hear her from like half a mile off, I think, like crash, 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 and all of you hear Mercy's booming voice just explode across the clearing from maybe like 500 feet off. That motherfucker! And like you all hear like her like smashing like nearby fucking like bamboo stalks and maybe also like crushing a boulder with like her huge like sword until she finally like stomps into view of the clearing and just jabs her massive great sword like a fucking grave marker like straight into the dirt. And all of you see that she is drenched in sweat. She doesn't look harmed, but she's drenched in sweat. She's panting really hard. Her like ponytails come a little undone, so it's a little frizzy like around the base of her neck. Like her tunic is like plastered to her collarbone, and she just looks like pissed off. The motherfucker got away. I don't even know how, or the trail just ended, which doesn't make any sense because I didn't feel the weave snap or anything like they were casting Dimension Door or whatever the fuck. Oka. Tadali. And it looks like Mercy doesn't know who to go to first. like between Oka and Sitlali, like who's more fucked up, and like she sort of stalls in that moment.
Mercy?
Gentle, yes. Oka, yes. Gentle, sorry, go ahead. There's a lot of things happening right now.
I just sort of like pat the ground next to Sitlali. I think Sitlali could use a little help, and I'm making tea.
Okay. Yeah.
Sharon has Oka for now.
Okay. Right. Oka, not dead, upright, alive. Good. 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 Hello? Mercy, like, lifts up a hand like she wants to, like, pat you on the back, Oka, but then, like, curls it up into a fist and...
And as her hand is kind of, like, raised like this, Oka, like, was really leaning on Duran for support. Just kind of, like, shifts over and, like, slips underneath her arm and hugs her around the waist. And, like, their head also just kind of goes into her chest,
Poor, sorry, blood-drenched little gremlin, come here. And Mercy, like, wraps you up in a big hug. Like, her arm comes down and she squeezes you. Oh, a little too hard. Maybe when you make, like, a sad little squeaky lamb noise, she, like, releases you a little bit and, sorry. Okay. Great 8. What the fuck did they do to you?
We weren't ready, Mercy. I don't think we're ready for that. And Oka kind of pushes off her a little. I think I'm in a little too deep now, Mercy. I think I fucked up.
Hey. And, like, Mercy sort of, like, squares her hands around your shoulders and, like, looks down at you, like, with this, like, really intense look in her eye, right? And she's, like, says with all seriousness, and, like, there's not, like, an ounce of sarcasm in her voice when she says what comes out of her voice next, which is, hey, what do we do when we fuck up in the Hounds?
We fuck?
No, we pick ourselves back up and we do it again. Because, hey, we're all just a bunch of fuck-ups, all right? There's nothing wrong with being a fuck-up. Step number 1 is to fuck up. Step number 2 is to learn from it. Step number 3 is to do it again, but better. And hey, you're a fucking Paragon, Oka. Why didn't you tell us?
What? How the fuck do you know that?
God, it's a long story. You're okay, right? They're okay? And Mercy, like, casts her glance around the rest of the Hounds.
And I think Oka kind of also looks over their shoulder, and they're looking with the same eye with the red lightning through it at Sitlali, and they can't look at her for very long. Their gaze, like, kind of pulls back down.
I think Sitlali, without looking up, just kind of says in the same very deadpan, but, like, you can tell it's not, like, the affected deadpan they normally do. It's, like, a legitimate deadpan. That assassin got part of Oka's soul, which should not physically or spiritually be possible.
What? Great.
We can get it back, right?
Yeah, right? We can just... There's gotta be a way to... Right?
I can try a couple things.
If anyone can do it, you can do it, Sitlali. What happened to your arms? Your neck?
No, we don't have to. No.
Fine.
No. It'll eat you, said Lolly.
Which part? Because I've already had things in my soul too, Oka.
It's eating me, said Lolly. It's not right.
That I can relate to.
I can't control it. I could tell how hungry it was, how deep your magic runs. Could feel the way your heart beats, intertwined with the weave. It would have kept going. It wouldn't have been enough. It's split off from its other heads, and all it knows, all we know, all we know. No. It's no.
Are you talking
Let
about?
it.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I would have let it.
I wouldn't. What are the four of you doing here? What is this?
We were following you. We were trying to find the Paragon of Sen, my ex-girlfriend, the angel. Long story. Oka, it's a really long story. Yes, Gentle, I see your hand raised.
First off, Oka, it's really nice to see you. I haven't gotten to say much yet. But also, we've been looking for you. For what it's worth, we believed you were Paragon. And it hasn't been easy, but the hounds don't leave hounds behind.
Hi, Gentle. It's good to see you. And Oka tries to stagger over, and I think they use either Duran or Mercy kind of as a weight. They still feel very unsteady, and they kind of settle into a heap next to Gentle, and they start going through one of the leather pouches on their bag, and they pull out a kind of sad bunch of crumpled and dried tea leaves. I'm sorry, these look horrible. They're really special, though, I think. They're I don't know, Manaya said that there were only a few of them left in the world, but they're supposed to be for bad dreams.
Oh,
but nobody really brews them like you do. I've been holding on to them for a while.
Thank you. I'm making tea right now. It's almost ready. It'll help. It's my favorite one from home, but
Gentle, I missed you so much. And Oka wraps their arms around Gentle, if they'll allow it, and pulls them in for a hug.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely hug you back, and just you can lean on me. I am still taller than you.
Please don't remind me. I'm in a very, very shattered state, Gentle. Please be nice.
I'm sorry.
And they pull back again. And they look at Sitlali. I can't really tell you how much it hurts Sitlali. I don't think I've ever felt something like this before in my life. But I know one thing that could be worse. It'd be taking you out of this world. And I won't have it. Do you understand? I won't. I'm sorry. Your hands, I'm sorry.
Don't be. I'm gonna try something. And I think Sitlali goes for their water skin, and then we're like kind of with their bare hands just kind of digs out like a pool sort of, and pours it's just plain water into it. And I think they're gonna go for a divine intervention.
Okay.
Which I have to roll an 11 or lower.
Okay.
And
also, I'm
yeah.
just gonna say you do have 2 points of personal inspiration. That's it. Go ahead.
Good to know. And the desired effect that they are asking the Raven Queen for, unsure if it will even work, if the Raven Queen even can in her current like form, state, whatever. Restore Oka's soul from here. So I'm gonna roll those.
Okay, bestie!
Gonna roll them one at a time.
Okay, what'd you get?
That's a 5.
Okay. Sitlali, you dig a hole in the ground, and I think like Mercy sort of comes over carefully around to where you're like digging and just wordlessly helps you dig. Like she also like drops to her knees and like with her like bare hands just starts clawing out like a hole in the ground. You pour your water in, like some mud pulls in, but it's mostly clear.
Oka makes a little remark. Are you digging my grave right now, Sitlali?
I don't think Sitlali answers. For once in your life, you get a one-liner off in Sitlali.
And Sitlali, what does it look like when you beseech the Raven Queen for help?
I think they grasp their holy symbol that has that feather in it. And they just kind of like look at the reflection of themselves in the pool that they have dug. And they just say quietly, but like everyone can fucking hear it, whatever. In Raven speech. Please get it back. They need that. It's not right. It's sacrilege. And you would not stand for this.
There's a silence. And then all of you feel the weave centered on Sitlali sort of spin and tighten, almost like a spindle turning on its axis, as like the surface of the water begins to ripple. The weave tightens, and Sitlali, your hair begins to ripple again. And just kind of out of nowhere, like amongst like the fallen leaves and the splattered blood all over this like leaf-strewn floor, all of you see like black raven feathers sort of whirl into existence just a little bit, just a touch around Sitlali, and a voice rings clear as a midnight bell in your head, Sitlali, that says, "Child, it is good to hear from you. You are close to me. I can heed your prayer. Listen closely. The soul that was taken from the child of Sen is hidden from me. I do not know where it has gone. But if you get it back, I can fix them.
How do we get it back?
The assassin, the same one that wishes to run a chisel through the soul of the child of Mongshinjudi. You must help Oka. You must prepare them and the other Paragons for the first snow of winter.
I will. Yes. Thank you.
Do not thank me, child. Thank yourself. You are the way forward. I must go now. My Paragon needs me. She has lost her way. And like the feathers sort of swirl around you and then die down as all of you feel like the weave begin to sort of like loosen. And like this great sort of unspooling sensation. And I think all of you heard the Raven Queen as well, but she spoke in Raven speech. So if you don't speak that language, you don't know what she said.
I think Sitlali just kind of falls back. Like, I think they were up on their knees, and I think they just kind of fall back on their ass into the ground, or Mercy, whichever's closer. And because they've done a lot today. A lot has happened in the last 20 minutes. Like, yeah. And they just kind of look around at everybody else, avoiding Oka as much as they can. And then just kind of wordlessly settle down.
I think Duran's like gears are turning in their head at that, because Duran does speak Raven speech, and so he would have understood what the Raven Queen said. And so I think at this point they're kind of just like in their head trying to process like, okay, what do we remember about the person that we saw like hovering over Oka about to murder them? In what direction did we see them go? Like literally anything at all. They're trying to sort of like go over it in their head to like commit it to memory, so that later on, like they like know that this is not the right moment, but later on they're gonna go talk to Sitlali and like, we're gonna pursue this.
And I think Oka had almost kind of been caught up in this reverie, right? As like the weave tightened in this almost now like familiar way. And then like they had kind of closed their eyes and just been moved by it. They open their eyes. And they look at Sitlali, even if Sitlali does not look at them. The last time we spoke, that was her. She who will not take me. They say it with a wry smile.
Not your time yet. Of course she won't.
How much do you all know?
That's, you know what? I think we should set up camp. I think we should get a good fire going. I think we should roast some meats. We hunted a deer earlier, and we can probably roast that haunch. Set up some tents here, set up a periphery. What do you think, Wu Ming? And the half Kenku guide who has faded to the back of this entire interaction. You all turn, and Oka, for the first time, you see this like half Kenku woman that you recognize as one of Mercy's exes that actually Mercy dated for like 2 years. And she's already like, she has set up a fire. Like a fire is roaring when you all turn, and like is like starting to like set up like a tent as well. And she goes, oh, I just figured I I would do this to help things out. Hello, Oka, it is good to see you.
Wu Ming, what the fuck are you doing here? I thought you and Mercy broke up.
It's a long story. Why don't you sit down and we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. Okay. And Oka nods and slips their hand into Geron's.
I think Jeron blushes a little bit, but holds Oka's hand.
And on that, you gaylords, we're going to cut to a break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. It is 8:11, so we'll be back around 8:21. Enjoy the BRB music. We love you all so much. We'll see you in 10. Spisho! That's new. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the final part of the Hounds of Mercy, the second part of our episode 8 extravaganza. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we hop back in, quick note about content warnings again. Content warnings for this episode may include panic attacks described in detail, family trauma, relationship trauma, nightmares, death, fantasy violence, gore, self-destructive behavior, and bloodletting. Use !CW at any time in chat to get a list of these content warnings, and please take care of yourself and your hearts. With that out of the way, let's go into the final part of the very last episode of the Hounds of Mercy versus Andake. The fire burns merrily. The smell of cooking meat filling this clearing as Wu Ming dutifully attends to a roasting haunch of a deer that Mercy hunted earlier this week. All of you sit around this fire, nursing mugs of hot tea or warm cider, or in Mercy's case, ice-cold beer that she swigs continuously out of a flask. Tents have been erected, a perimeter has been set up with torches, and Wu Ming actually very attentively cast alarm around your campsite, just to make sure that any other creepy crawlies or Paragon killers would not intercede for the rest of the evening. And as Mercy sort of like perches atop a shaved down boulder, next to Sitlali, whom she always keeps one hand on the back of, sort of leans into her partner and says, So, how much longer do you think it's gonna take Oka before they're okay after Raven Queen stuff helps restore them back to full soulness? How long do you think it's gonna take?
It's gonna take until we find it.
Okay, no problem. So, and Mercy turns to address the rest of the hounds, including Oka. After we get your soul back, Oka, you're coming with us to Dabathati. There's a puppy situation that we need to take care of.
What?
Bud, you didn't get to meet Bud, but Bud is Bud is my pride and joy, and we need to go rescue him.
It's a dire wolf puppy that Gentle rescued in Morose after the Cataclysm. Immediately after the Cataclysm, they've grown close. I met someone in the court. One of the Duke's root sweetbreeze actually gifted Bud with sentience and the ability to speak common, as well as Morosi, I think, oddly enough.
Wait, I thought we didn't go to the court.
What?
We had to turn down so many job offers because and Oka kind of glances at Sitlali and then kind of shuts up. You know, the insinuation that we jobs turned down because Sitlali wouldn't go to the court.
Sitlali had a, why don't you tell this part of the story, Sitlali?
I think Sitlali just kind of stares at the fire. And then gets up and goes back to that hole that they had dug. Because they had another idea.
Oh my god, your ideas, Quinn, your ideas. What is it?
I think as they're moving, they just kind of not really, not looking at Oka, but directed to Oka, very pointed, very clipped, like, did the assassin have a name? What else do you know about them? What did they sound like?
Distorted. And Oka is almost like sounds like they're hunting again. It's that clarity of like a hunter. Distorted behind the mask. All of their skin was covered. They fight with chisels. And at that they pause, wince. Special ones. They called themselves the Paragon killer. That's all. They didn't-
Understood. And they kneel down. Oh, go ahead.
There's something else. They're and it seems really hard for Oka to say. They're not made of, well, they're empty. The way the monsters are now.
Okay. That helps.
What are you doing?
And they kneel down in front of that hole again and will refill it with more water, assumedly. And they're going to cast scrying to see if they can see where the Paragon killer is.
Okay.
So they have to make a whiz save. Let's see. No, let's see. Knowledge of the target affects the save modifier. Would you say that I have secondhand knowledge?
You saw them very briefly, but you have no idea what they look like, what their real name is, or anything beyond that. You just sort of know like the costume they were like get up in.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, Ollie. And Oka kind of like shoves off whatever they're sitting on and kind of scrambles sadly over and sits on the other side of the pond. And they just like, they bite into their palm and squeeze a few drops of their blood. I connected myself to them when they attacked me and I didn't understand what was going on. At first, I almost forgot. It worked with Kane. It doesn't matter. It'll work, I think. And as I want to try to help this by using my brand of castigation, which is also technically also active on the assassin.
Okay. I think this is what happens. Oka, as you squeeze your fist and a little droplet of blood comes out of your hand and dyes the water red. Maybe both of you like lean over it as like the surface of the water shimmers. And both of you like feel the weave tighten a little bit, but Sitlali, you're trying to reach through the threads of magic that imbue this entire grove to like find this person and pull their face onto the surface of this mirror, this magical mirror that you've erected. But something is blocking you. It's almost like you're in the dream shield again of your own magical ability, and there's like a dark black mist preventing you from seeing them with scrying. They essentially have the effects of like a non-detection spell on them, right? Something that prevents them from being scryed. But Oka, because of your help, I think, Sitlali, what you're able to parse is sort of the limitations of that fog. And you get the feeling that if you're in closer physical proximity with this so-called Paragon killer, Oka's blood magic might be able to ping. So it's sort of like Oka's kind of like a ship's radar right now. And if they're within like close enough proximity, they'll be able to tell where they are. But as the Paragon killer is right now, they're too far away to be picked up on.
And I think they kind of fall back again and just kind of sit there.
No, this makes sense. They're hunting paragons. They're hunting the Emperor. The dream prophets in the palace have been able to see that the Emperor is going to die. But unlike other forms of prophecy, they don't know how, they don't know who, because of this. And Oka kind of like taps their hand. This, the empty. The empty
comes from the stranger?
Don't, please.
I paid attention in school.
You might have been the only person who paid attention in school.
Yeah, I was. You've met Rev, I assume.
How do you know Rev?
Are your new friends Paragons?
Not... What? And Oka rubs the back of their neck. Yes?
Putting your faces on posters. And
That was not my idea.
traveling together in a group? Easy pickings for something like this.
And who would want to do something like this, Sitlali? Who would want to kill a paragon?
That I don't have the answer to. But they tried to kill you, didn't they?
It's the eye, isn't it?
How do you know that?
I saw it in a dream.
What kind of dream? And Oka, push it, they're just kind of ping-ponging themselves back and forth now. They, push off again. What dream? How? What kind of dream?
I think Joran kind of, reels back a little bit at Oka, suddenly crawling over. It was... You were there, just like you look right now. I didn't quite recognize you, but I knew it was you, of course. And you looked scared. And you looked at something behind me, and when
Was
I
there
turned...
blood? Did you see the battlefield? Were you on it? Were you one of them?
No, I don't know what battlefield you're talking about, but yes, the eye was bleeding. It was larger than anything I've ever seen before, and it was crying blood.
And this long peal of electricity just goes, just kind of up into the sky.
And Sitlali reels back at that.
But you weren't there. You weren't on it. You're not a...
No, do you see it in your dreams?
That's how we figured it out. All of us. The same dream. Every night.
And you've made yourselves easy fucking marks.
Joran shoots Sitlali a look. Daggers.
Sitlali doesn't even glance over.
Gentle, are you still raising your hand for talking?
Yeah. When did you start having those dreams?
The first time we got close to a shard. I assume that if you know about the Paragons, you know what it is that I'm carrying around inside me. The pieces of the gods that remain. The shards. As soon as we got close, that was it. Every night, since we got to Dabathati. It's a... Go ahead.
I didn't want to derail, but I want to ask a question I've been waiting to ask since you left. Why?
And Oka looks really, really sad. Like, they look confused and startled for a moment, and they look down, and when they look back up, the heaviness mingles with this melancholy, I guess. I've died before, Gentle. Here. Almost exactly right here. 8 years ago. I was killed by a holy monster. And I came back to life. And then I killed the holy monster. And I left. And I haven't been back here since then. I don't know what it is about me or about fate that pulls me away from people that I love. I didn't want to be gone. I didn't want to be gone for so long. But I was afraid. I knew where you all had been. I knew that you were on Zima. I heard what happened in Morose, and if I had gone looking and you weren't there, then I don't know. I couldn't. It's easier to keep you alive in my memory than to be proven wrong. And I was scared. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. None of us did.
I don't think anyone would have expected the world to end right after you left. And for what it's worth, I mean, things happen for a reason. You are Paragon, you're helping save the world, and we all met each other again, so maybe things have a weird way of working out.
I wouldn't exactly call this working out, Gentle.
And Oka, surprised, kind of turns and looks at Jiran.
You've had a long day. I think... Can we talk later?
Later, like...
Just later. Before you need to go wherever it is you were before. There's just something
Right.
I'd like to talk to you about.
Right, yeah. No, yeah. No, that's fine. And Oka looks kind of sheepish. I think the thing that you want to talk to them about, which is hashtag lore, is not the thing that they think that you want to talk about. That's I didn't want to leave forever, Gentle. I wanted to come back, but I'm not. It's not done.
Oh, I believe you. I I'd see you again. I mean, it was not easy, but we are. I don't know. I tend to believe that when you care about people enough, you'll see the people you care about again. That's why I'm gonna get Bud back. That's why you're here.
Will you tell me about Bud?
I grabbed like one of the little wooden toys that he chewed up, um, back in the ball, and I'm just like, so, do you remember when we first met? Do you remember the direwolf you and Mercy were trying to hunt?
Of course I do. I thought you were such fools.
Yeah, well, I wasn't because I healed her and she got better and she even had pups, which Mercy absolutely gave milk to one of them one day and she told me never to tell, but
No, I did
I'm
not,
gonna.
Gentle.
You did, and you named Bud Runt then. Um, that is true. But I would keep an eye on them whenever we were in Morose. And unfortunately, after the cataclysm, Bud was the only one to make it out. So I took it upon myself to keep an eye on him and teach him how to be okay and be strong. And then he could talk, so he could talk to me back and felt kind of like a kid to me. I don't know, it felt more like a parent. And then like Gentle starts fidgeting with her hands more, like clearly getting more nervous as the story goes from happy to sadder. And then at Nabal, I trusted someone I shouldn't have, and they took Bud, and Bud's okay, but now we have to go get him back. And um, I don't know how I feel about losing Bud yet. I'm not happy at all, but I just really want to save Bud.
It's like you told me, Gentle. Right? You love Bud. Bud will come back to you. If Bud's missing, then what are you all doing here?
You're the Paragon of Sun. We had to find you.
Why?
At that, Mercy sort of like pauses and like looks at Jiran. You know, maybe now's a good time for sit lolly, Gentle, Wooming. I need to talk to the three of you for a moment here. Why don't we and very awkwardly, Mercy gets up and tries to like herd the rest of the hounds away so Jiran and Oka can have some privacy.
Subtle, babe. Real subtle.
Hey, I'm good at a lot of things, but subtlety is not one of them. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I should teach you how to
Oh no.
talk to people sometime. Okay.
Wooming, do you want to talk about tea? And like I can show you some of like my tea collection.
Oh. And you notice that Wooming has actually, while your back was turned for like 2 seconds, is like looking through your tea stuff, like at your waist.
Oh, yes, of course. I would love to learn more about tea.
Yeah. And Gentle like walks away, sort of hyper fixated and excited.
I think just before they walk away, Sitlali kind of like very conspicuously grabs Mercy's hand and like looks back at Oka. And for the first time makes eye contact and goes, "Oh, by the way, while you were gone, I'm second. And then turns back and goes off with Mercy.
But it's just because you were gone, Oka, and Sitlali and I are now. Long story. Have a good talk. Yeah.
What the fuck? As I think the hand in hand, because Oko's like, I was second in Mercy and I never held hands, right? Like it's like bing, 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 all the way down, and they go, and they roll on Duran. Are they? What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't. It happened
Second?
kind of quickly.
Second. I'm second.
Not anymore, darling.
Did you just call me darling?
What? Anyway, yeah.
No, it's. Did you? What's happening right now?
A lot. Okay. Before I talk about what I need to talk about, are you sure? Are you absolutely 100% sure that you are a paragon of any god, let alone sense?
Yeah. I wish. It's complicated, but of that, I think I am at this point sure, considering how many gods have looked me in the eye and called me a paragon.
That's what I was afraid of.
I said that it was dangerous. That's why I didn't. That's why I was worried. It's the whole thing.
I think Duran kind of moves a little bit closer to Oka and puts their hand on Oka's face and just kind of holds it there for a second and like rubs their thumb along their cheek. Oka, my wolf, I think that the job of a paragon is more dangerous than you think it is.
This is the second time I've died this week, Duran.
I wish you wouldn't say that, because there's gonna have to be a third.
What, like gentle?
What? No, gentle's fine. No, gentle is
what are we-
okay.
Okay,
no. Oka, the paragons are going to die.
yeah, we all die sometimes. Listen, Duran, I know you like this.
No,
is that
like-
really the point? Like, here now?
I think Duran like grabs Oka by both shoulders, like holds them steady, looks them in the eye. Oka, please listen to me when I say this. The reason that we had to find you is because we have to tell you and the other paragons that the paragons are not destined to just save Andake. You are destined to give your life for it. You are not chosen by the gods, you're being slaughtered by them.
And Oka's silent for a really, really long time. And then they nod twice. And they kind of like look like they're focused, like they were really focused on Duran's face when he was saying all of that. And then they almost kind of like blip into the middle distance, right? Almost like, again, in the dream, like they're seeing something like behind you that you can't see. The 8 of you will die today. Right.
Did you already
Of course
know?
it is. I think I knew, and I just... Of course. Of course. Right. Why would it be any other way, Duran?
No, but look. I know that it's fate, it's prophecy, whatever, that the Paragons have to sacrifice themselves for Andake,
No,
but
it makes sense, Duran. Of course it does.
there
That's
has
what
to be
Paragons
an
do.
alternative, Oka. There has to be.
And they fix you with this kind of odd look. Duran, do you know what the alternative is?
Not apocalypse, not...
No, Duran.
Then what?
Why I was crying. If this is what that means, that dream, of course it is. I was always such a bad dream interpreter. Right, of course. If we die before the stranger kills us, for Andake, if we die before then the world dies. So do the gods. So does everything.
So don't die.
Until it's time.
Don't die.
Duran. Duran.
You don't have this. There's always a choice.
Duran, the
Oka.
gods are not kind.
You don't think I
They're
know
not.
that?
They're not kind. Okay? Of course we'll die for them. This world, how would they have it any other way?
You shouldn't
Of
have
course
to.
we will. Maybe not. The 8 of us. Broken paragons. The gods have hurt me. You can see it. They touch their mouth. Everywhere, all the time. It doesn't stop. It doesn't. But I love this world. I love the gods despite everything. I love you, and I will not let this world burn.
You what? Shut up. I love you too. And I think Duran leans in to kiss Oka again.
We can cut away there, I think.
Yeah, yep, okay. Cutting away. Mercy, Sitlali, Gentle, and Wuming have been sort of like in their own little corner of the camp. I think there's like a moment where like Wuming's like looking through all the different kind of like tea like species and like strains that you have, Gentle, and it's sort of like,
What's that one? That one looks lighter than the other ones.
Oh, this one. So this one, I made it when we were in. I made this one after we took a pirate ship. I sort of like mixed it with a few other things. Um, I've made a lot of tea just sort of as a sort of memento to our little adventures.
as you've been talking, Gentle, when you look back at Wuming, you see that like her mouth is full of something, and she's like crunching a little. And you see like the pile of tea leaves of, let's say, your most potent stock is diminished when you look back down at it.
That's tea. No, you shouldn't actually.
It tastes bitter.
Yeah, no. See that one's sort of like for energy, because some mornings, working with Mercy means things get very hectic very fast, and sometimes I need a bit of a wake me up. So, you should not have that. You're going to be very jumpy and bouncy. Thankfully, I can heal you and sort of do like a cleanse, and I will use an action of healing hands, because it can remove poisons and diseases.
Yeah, as you lean in to put your glowing hands on her, she goes,
Oh,
and like all of you see your pupils suddenly like swell up to the size of dinner plates. She goes,
I can see into the future.
as you like hold on to her, and she goes,
Oh.
See, you only have a little bit of that. A lot of these are very potent just because I never know when we can make it again, because we are always moving, and it's always hard to see. I can give you like a sampler bag if you'd like, of just a couple little ones with like the proper like rationing. Is that okay?
Yes, please. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Gentle.
Are you okay? I just want to make sure you're good. Normally you still might be like have little like fits of like jumpiness for like an hour or two, but you should be okay.
she pops back up onto her feet, like shakes out like her like feathered arms and goes, brrr, and you see like it like ripple up and down her body, like the feathers, like the edges of her skin.
I am A-okay.
And she sticks out a big thumbs up in your face.
Thank you for the sampler.
Of course. I've already had the bag ready, like made, and I have like a little ribbon.
I really appreciate it, but are you, well, we're through the dream shield now, and I was hoping your mask.
And like her big like black eyes like fall upon like the mask strapped to your waist.
It's just so pretty, and I would like something to remember you all by, and I don't want to take something from Mercy again.
What did you take from Mercy?
Well, when we broke up, I suppose you don't have to know that necessarily, Gentle. Or maybe I'll just tell you and it'll be our little secret.
That'd be really fun. It'd be very fun to have something that I could taunt Mercy with a little bit. I've been hanging out with Sitlali too much.
Wuming flutters over to your side and leans in, right, and whispers into your ear.
When we broke up, I took Mercy's stuffed tiger.
Did it have a name?
Yes. I don't know it. She never told me, but it does have a name. I've taken to calling the tiger Mr. Stripes.
I love Mr. Stripes already. I'm gonna have to make a Mr. Stripes blend for a birthday present for Mercy.
I'm usually not very petty, but the breakup did hurt a lot, so I decided to strike back.
I don't want to blame you, but Mercy's Mercy.
How
Mercy.
about this, Gentle?
And Wooming rifles through her pack, right? And like reaches deep in. Like her pack is maybe like the size of a small satchel, but she reaches in all the way up to like her elbow. And he figures probably like a bag of holding. And she pulls out a stuffed tiger. It looks very well worn, like a stuffed animal, like with these little button eyes. And it has a really dumb looking face, right? Like the head is way too big for the rest of its body, right? The rest of its body is kind of like shrunken down, like it was made. Part of you is like, did Mercy make this? And like the stripes have sort of worn down, so it's mostly just an orange blob with a little bit of black on it. But it's really cute. She hands it to you and puts a finger up to her lips. Equivalent exchange.
Of course. I think I start rifling through my bag, and I very quickly whip up a sort of mixture of black tea with a little bit of orange peels for like a little bit of zest. That I'll call Mr. Stripes. And I will put it in a little bag and hand it to Wu Ming, and then just say, "Here's that. That's Mr. Stripes now, and also, I think this mask has run its course, and I need to build more bridges. So, if I give you my mask, can you promise that at some point we will see each other again?"
Yes. It is a promise.
And yeah, I will hand Wu Ming my mask.
She takes your mask and hands you Mr. Stripes. And like folds the stuffed tiger into your hand and tucks the mask like very gently away into her pack. And says to you,
"Perhaps you can give Mr. Stripes back to Mercy when the time is right."
When you're not close enough for Mercy to know you did it?
Exactly.
Of course. Where would I be able to find you again?
I'm here. My job now is to be a sleep grifter and ferry people across the Dream Shield. So for as long as the Dream Shield is up, I'll be here. And if and when it ever does come down, knock on bamboo, and she like raps on like a hollow stalk of bamboo nearby, then I suppose you can find me at Wang Botian's estate. Well, estate is kind of an exaggeration. Hovel, let's say, where we like to pull grifts on unsuspecting nobles.
Were they mean nobles?
Yes, I mean, you could argue that all nobles are mean. They surely didn't earn all that wealth.
I agree.
That's where you'll find me, with Wang Botian. Agreed. You should. But so few people do. So thank you for sharing your mask with me, Gentle. I'll make sure to take good care of it.
After looking at Mr. Stripes, I believe you.
She like flutters her feathered arms a little bit, and then goes back to inspecting your tea blends. Maybe on like Wu Ming turning to look at the tea, and cut over to where Sitlali and Mercy are. Mercy sort of pulled you aside, off to your own little corner by Mercy's tent, and she sort of like sat on like a stump nearby next to you. I think if it's okay with you, Sitlali, if you'll let her, she's like trying to like hold your hands and or arms in her own very gently to look at them.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I think Sitlali is like stiffer than normal around Mercy. Like normally they're quite relaxed, but she is very tense. For
Right, of course. Mercy holds one of your arms in her hand, and she very tenderly like traces her fingers over like the newly exposed lacerations, right? Like all the way up, like the burn and scorch marks and the lightning scars. Sitlali, what happened?
I think I pissed off the god of rage.
Uh-huh. The echo of Vinash that Bravi said is in Oka now, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. What did you do? Why were they so mad at you? Weren't you just trying to help?
I may have asked a question at a bad time.
What kind of question could have provoked the god of rage and lightning to do this to you?
I'm not entirely sure, but it does confirm some of my suspicions.
Suspicions. Go on.
You remember on the ship?
Oh, the ship.
No.
Yes, of course.
Yes. We saw we saw the Paragon of Sin, but it wasn't Oka.
Uh-huh. Yes,
And
the shadow thing.
Yes. And they were fighting.
Uh-huh.
And Jiran saw that eye in their
Yes.
dream.
Yes.
That's the stranger. The stranger war happened. It's real. The stranger is real.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hey, so Lally, hey. And she, like, places, like, her hand, like, on your shoulder and maybe, like, squeezes it a little to sort of, like, calm you down.
I think they flinch a little. I think there's new pain there.
Oh. Hey, are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
I don't know.
Does it hurt? Did the scars hurt?
Yes and no. I don't know. We should be doing something about this. Why are we just sitting here? We should be hunting them down. We should be on their trail. We should get that piece back, because if we get the piece back, then I can probably get it back into Oka, and then we have to find. So, okay, they obviously haven't found Vinash's Paragon if it's still hitching a ride with with them. Then we need to find Vinash's Paragon, and then we need to find the God Shard of Sen, and then so we have to find. But do they have all of the Paragons with them? And they are just kind of starting to spiral out into their own like Kimberly Day conspiracy board moment.
Sure.
And
do you think that in that would it be cool with you if Oka approaches in that conspiracy board spiral time? No, we only have the Raven Queen and Mungshan Shurdi. They just kind of say, and they're like there, you know.
But who do you have the Paragons of?
Manaya is Mahu. Dewey is Galtanger, which makes no sense. V has Scott and Nectus. I was wrong. We have 3 fully realized. And the Emperor is Mungshan Shurdi. And Rev is the Raven Queen.
Rev is. Right.
How do you... I still didn't get that. I have something to tell you all. Which is why I... Can we sit around the fire?
Yeah, let's, yep, everyone, hey, okay, breakout party time is over, let's, go over to the, alright. I think Mercy's trying to, like, shepherd everyone, but you're all just moving of, like, your own accord, and she goes, and gets up, but, like, go ahead.
I think Sitlali stays put, and I think they just kind of fire this errant guiding bolt off into the bamboo. We should be doing something. I am tired of talking. We have Oka. That was the mission. This is the new mission. Get Oka's soul back.
And what shape I am? What shape am I in to do that right now, Silali?
I don't need you to do that.
No. No.
Gentle?
I want to help get Oka's soul back, but today maybe we can just enjoy the fact that we're all together again. Tomorrow will happen.
No, the four of you aren't. No. This is. I can't let you do that.
And why not?
Because. Did you see everything that happened here today? They ripped out my soul, Sitlali. I am not going to put you in their way. I know who they're hunting.
I already carried around one parasite in my soul, Oka.
Then you understand.
That's why we need to get it back now.
We will get it back. But I will not put you in harm's way. Do you understand?
You don't get to make that choice for us.
We've managed pretty well. I mean, I stole a pirate ship. I've run on the lake. I've ran up buildings, and that's just what I can do. Silali did fight a Paragon. Jiran has a special way of doing spy stuff that has dubious results, but we have
Gentle,
managed
we don't need to talk about that, please.
Understood.
Look, all of us are very competent, Oka, and we're here to help you. We want to help you, but... And at that, like, Mercy turns to, like, look at the hounds, right? And she sort of is, like, standing with Oka. It's a little different here, hounds. This is Oka's home. The Slumbering Palace is where you're from, right? You're a prince or something here? And the fact that you can come back here, I mean, I don't know all the gory details of your past, Oka, but that feels like a big deal. And I don't want to drag my dirty boots and my bloody sword through your home if that's not what you want us to do.
That's not what I'm talking about, Mercy. Oh. There's a man, a person, this incredible person. They live on the edge of the Euclid Chasm, and they've been studying this, all of this, everything. They knew it was going to happen, the cataclysm.
And they didn't tell anyone?
They told everyone, but nobody would listen, because how could we imagine something like this? It's complicated. It's complicated, but they know things. We've been working for them. They've been guiding us. If you went there, there's going to be another one. Worse than before. Worse than the cataclysm. She'll come back. The stranger will crawl back into Andake. That's what the dream is. The Paragon's dream. Just gentle.
Then why should only a couple of Paragons do it when a couple of other people who want to help can help just fine?
That's what I mean.
I kind of look at Mercy then, and I just like make a cute little shrug.
I was scared, and I'm still scared of losing you, of losing all of you. But I can't do this without you. Sitlali, you saved my life. And Duran, you saved my heart, and Gentle, you remind me that there should be hope in the world. Mercy, you're a fucking asshole, and I love you, and I have missed you so much. This, and they kind of like gesture. This is complicated. It's not that I don't want you here, it's that I can't. I'm a ghost here. But we've been hunting the assassin. The only reason they found me was because I was alone. I can't leave the rest of them. Sitlali, you're right, okay? You're right. We made ourselves into a huge fucking target. But together, I think we stand a chance. But the four of you, if you go to Dr. Aluso, maybe you could help.
I think Sitlali goes up to Oka and gets like a little too close for like normal humans, right?
Good thing neither of them are normal humans.
Correct. And puts a hand it's shaking, but it's like very firmly on Oka's shoulder. I need you to tell me everything you know about her. Now.
So I just ate a little bit of Sitlali's soul, right?
Yeah.
Well, not soul exactly, but life?
Yes, let's say life energy, or T.
I'm gonna attempt a brain meld. I don't actually have any mechanics for this, but I'm gonna try.
I'm sorry. What are you,
You
going
think this
to
is
do?
masks? You think this is a power suite situation where you can just say, I do this? You know what?
I could say that I can try something. You know what, Connie? I mean, Oka is a blood hunter, right? They are intrinsically linked through blood, and they're specifically a blood hunter of the bonded bloodletting suborder. Do you understand what I'm putting down here? It's like a reverse fucking grim psychometry. It's a reverse grim psychometry, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to project my knowledge of the stranger, the images from the dream, the things that we've learned from Dr. Luso into Sitlali's mind.
Okay, Sitlali, if you are consenting to this and willing to try it out.
Yes.
Okay. Both of you roll a d20, no modifiers, and tell me your result. And the farther apart the number is, the more chaotic and painful the brain meld will be. What did you get?
I got a 10.
What did Sitlali get?
I got a 19.
Oof. Okay, that is 9 places away. 9 places away, folks. 9 places away.
Could you use inspiration for this?
Yes, you can. Would you like to, or do you
I
want to
will
keep
do
it?
that.
Okay.
It's a finale.
But
Burn it.
listen, your dice are high rollers. Should I try to use inspiration? Do I have it? No, you don't. Okay, never mind. You go.
No, Sitlali's got 2 points of inspiration, though, remember.
Just 1, yeah. That's an 11.
Okay, that is just 1 number off. So there's gonna be like a minor headache, some buzzing, some nausea maybe, but that's it, really. So, Oka, how do you do this, and what does Sitlali see?
Great question. Sitlali's hand is shaking, right? And Oka just kind of looks, and they reach out, because grim psychometry just kind of works with touch. Actually, their nose starts to bleed a little bit, which is not how they used to use their blood magic. And they daub at their, where it had touched their lip before, and they reach forward and draw a circle on Sitlali's forehead in their own blood, and then they press the center of it, and the images flood in.
What does Sitlali see, Oka?
The dreams, mostly. The images of the stranger, from Oka's perspective, I think, of themselves also getting speared through with Dream Hunter, because that was how they had experienced a lot of the dreams. Just this repetition, every piece that Oka has in their mind of the stranger, of the thing that crawled into their soul in green open water in the court, of the constant nightmare, the fucking eyes on the ship also in green open water, how it pulled Vanash right out of them, the way that they intrinsically knew what that was. The snippets of conversation where you can almost see you can almost hear the memory of Dr. Eluso's voice in Oka's mind speaking about the stranger, about the cataclysm. And then it's there.
I think Sitlali stumbles because they're having a day. And probably Mercy's right there, right? So probably catches herself on Mercy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And just kind of with this wide-eyed stare, just kind of okay. I see. Interesting. And it's very Charlie Day at the board energy again. Very much this is a puzzle and I am going to solve it. And they're just kind of lost in it, I think.
Yeah, Mercy sort of holds you and stabilizes you, and it's just sort of okay, hey, you're okay. They're okay, right, Oka? You didn't blast their mind open or anything?
It's just stuff that I see.
Uh-huh. And where'd you learn to do mind meld, psychic, bullshit, motherfucking blood magic, huh?
When did you all learn how to talk to gods and become whatever this is, huh?
While you were gone, stupid.
Well, while I was gone, stupid.
See, this is why you're not second anymore.
Wait, you were serious about that?
As much as I miss the arguing, I had a question, Oka, namely about the other Paragons. Are they your friends, and what are they like?
I think they are my friends, at least. V is a lot like Sitlali, actually. Con woman by trade, but with a surprising heart, I guess. Manaya's really tall and reminds me of you, Gentle. She's sweet. She's a sailor. Dewey is a bird. He's nice. He's kind of odd, though. He wears sandals in a horrible way. That's not really important. Rev, I take it the four of you have met.
We've met.
Aha. And Oka looks like they're going to say something, and then they close their mouth. Uh-huh. Small world. And then the Paragon of Mungshan Shurdi is the Emperor of Tulong. My parent.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that 2 of 8 paragons, that's a quarter of all paragons, are directly fucking related? Are you kidding me?
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. It's just surprising is all.
You're fucking telling me, Mercy.
Okay, so which ones are we missing? Udabathi and Nitbuza?
We know where Udabathi's Paragon is. In Dabathati. The dream is complicated. Okay? We're all 8 of us are there, but we can't see each other. We don't know who the others are. But here, because of Mungshan Shurdi, because of Mother, Father, they could show us. And then I used V gave this woman some of her blood. It's a long, bizarre story. I don't need to get into it. She's in Dabathati. If you're going to Dabathati, you could go. You could go to Dr. Eluso's, and they have so much information there. So much, and we could. It's winter, the first day of winter. Is it the first day of winter one of the days of winter when the emperor is killed?
The first snow of winter.
It's the first snow of winter when the Paragon killer is supposed to kill the emperor. But we will not let that happen. And then maybe we can go to Dabathati to get Bud and put Vinash where it belongs.
That's what you need from us then. Go to Dabathati after going to this Dr. Eluso's place on the Euclid, really. How long have they been there for? I grew up around that area and I don't remember anyone living by it.
Hundreds of years at least. They're bizarre.
I thought Mercy frowns. Hundreds of years, really? You'd think that...
Decades at least.
No way. Nah, there's no way. I mean, if anyone was living by the Euclid, all the
Give
monsters...
me your fucking map, Mercy.
Okay, fine. Mercy, like, uncorks, like, her map holder and, like, takes out, like, a map of Andake and, like, starts spreading it out over, like, the ground for you and, like, hands you a quill. I'm just saying, if...
And pen right in the spot of Dr. Eluso's.
Ah, that's where the Hoofbright clan is.
Yeah, they fucking hate me.
Yeah, I bet they would. They have an honesty-bound culture. You probably disrespected them as soon as you walked in.
How do you know that?
Long story short, I grew up in the Euclid. I guess this is something that the Hounds now know that you don't about me.
I don't like how you're all grinning about that.
I'll tell you all about it tonight. But okay, we'll go to this Dr. Eluso. I suppose we'll talk, we'll rally, we'll gather our forces, and we'll meet up for Dabathati. I have to ask this Eluso person how they were able to fly under the radar for decades. One would think that I would have heard about someone living on the edge of the chasm. It's very unusual for people to hang out there.
As second, I agree with Mercy.
Good thing it was my idea, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, are you still here?
Gentle?
Why are we fighting? Mercy, this is a joke. Are you sure you didn't date them at some point? And then I quietly drew.
What? Hey, what? No. I mean,
Did
that
Gentle
depends.
just make a joke? Did Gentle just do that to you?
It is because we are now friends, and I have a naturally joking and japacious personality.
Thank you, Wuming. It's good to have you back. How long? It doesn't matter.
No, Gentle, no. I know it's a joke, but I'm just gonna clear the air. There's no way I dated this Dr. Elusive person, okay? Mercy sort of leans into Oka and goes, Did I?
I don't know. Did you forget about Wuming? Mercy.
And you didn't? You fucking liar.
Of course I
You're
didn't.
pretending you remember her.
No, I didn't. She was brilliant. She was a hound for 2 years, Mercy.
Yeah, well, okay, but I don't. Well, she took. Never mind. Okay, fine. This Dr. Elusive person. How do we know we found the right person? What do they look like?
You'll know.
That's helpful, Oka. Thanks.
They wear a lab coat all the time, okay? They will introduce themselves as Dr. Luso.
Lots
Also,
of people wear lab coats, Oka.
No, they don't. Who have you ever seen wearing a lab coat, Jaron?
People who do
You tell me you
science.
traveled all over Andake. Who have you ever seen wearing a lab coat?
Jaron, roll a d20 for lab coat. Roll for lab coat.
Did Kane wear a lab coat?
Wait, is a high or a
what?
low roll good?
I'll decide after I learn what your roll is.
Wait, no, but then I want to know if I should use inspiration. Okay, 8.
No, you are bluffing. There's no. Yeah, actually, as you're like racking your memory, you can't think of a single person you know.
Like,
who's
we were
ever
near
worn a lab coat.
Ohanahi, and then when we were in the Red Lagoon, I swear to God, maybe somebody was wearing a lab coat.
Are you sure you're not just confusing one of your
What happened
role
during the Red
play
Lagoon?
nights in the Red Lagoon? Yep.
I'm
what
sorry,
Angel
did you
said.
just say Kane?
I did.
Yeah,
They
we
did.
went in a ball. Just
And I
before
think it
this.
is at that moment that you realize, or that it comes into, because everything has been happening so much. Oka's wearing one of Kane's earrings. It looks so off on their person, actually. Now that they're not covered in blood, there's like a really beautiful, like crystalline, like dangly earring.
I think Sharon reaches out and like kind of like fingers it a little bit. Where did you get that?
I got it from Kane. Do you know Kane?
And I think at that, Sharon like touches their own earring that they got from Kane, which is actually your earring, and I think you would recognize it.
You know the meme of the woman doing math? Oka's doing that, but it is not adding up for them.
Jaron, I think that's when you remember what Kane told you about when you meet Oka again. About
No,
the
don't
message.
worry. I remembered. Don't worry.
Okay. Carry on.
This is not. Don't worry. That'll happen.
Where did you get that? That's mine.
Kane gave it to me. I assume it's for the same reason Kane gave you that earring.
Why did they give you my earring? They had more.
Okay, they were really helpful, actually.
I'm sure they were.
They were. We
The arithmetic. Oga's trying to do the arithmetic here. Wait, what? Helpful how? Did you talk to me?
Apparently I am the only person here who keeps a proper list of Exes.
Sitlali.
Kane is not. No, Kane is not an X.
Not that I have any X's to have a list.
Your
Or-
ex took Bud.
Your
one-
ex took Bud?
That one was not an X. I stood them up.
I think that
this
still
is
counts.
this is not about. I do not have a list. It is Mercy is the one without a list who has dangerous X's, and I don't have. I don't have.
Sitlali, you're not exactly making a very convincing argument for yourself, darling.
You should not undermine your second in front of other
You've met Oka. Mercy
Wait,
likes
what does
to
that
undermine
mean?
people. Mercy likes to undermine people. That's what Mercy does.
Yes, but I'm different.
Yes, Sitlali's very different than the relationship I had with my
Okay, just
previous
because
second.
you're
Ugh.
sleeping together does not mean that you get special treatment.
That is a gross misuse of power, Mercy.
What
That.
would? Yeah, hey. Speaking of gross
I
misuse
thought
of
I would
power,
have second.
I'm second. What are you all talking about?
Second, you got fired.
I didn't get fired.
Jerron,
Okay, you
Jerron
quit.
fucked Kane. Jerron and Kane fucked. They fucked.
Quite a bit from the looks of it.
It's like somehow Oka's still trying to do the math.
Well, I would use different words. I think it meant more to both of us than that.
How about those guards?
Okay,
Sit
we don't have
lolly.
to.
Should I keep going or?
Shut. Anyway, Oka. Dr. Aluso has information that we need. So we will go there because, look, if Dr. Aluso is everything that you say they are, if they have been studying this for years and knew that this was coming, that means that they are on top of things. They are on the ball. And I think we have a chance to stop this. I think we have a chance to save the world and you. No, don't. Just, we'll go.
They'll know how to put it back together. If anyone can, they can.
It can be done, the Raven Queen said so.
What?
She did.
What? I need to fucking learn Raven speech. Okay. I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay.
You will. We'll make sure of it.
And you... I'm not okay if you're all not okay.
Oka, when the fuck have we known each other that I have ever been okay?
I know, it causes a lot of problems, Sitlali. So do
It's
I.
like being a mirror, isn't it?
It really is. Maybe that's why Mercy made you second.
Okay, we're done with this conversation.
Mercy doesn't.
Gentle, go ahead.
I just want to say I think this is the most productive meeting of the Hounds we've ever had.
Surprisingly enough, Gentle, I think you're right. This is actually very productive. New information was exchanged. A plan has been formulated. We're all on board with the plan, right? After tonight, Gentle, Sitlali, Jiran, let's head over to the chasm. Oka, your soul can be put back together. That's what the Raven Queen said, right, Sitlali?
Yes.
It's doable.
You just need the shard of your soul that was taken from you by the Paragon killer.
Don't worry, Wu Ming. If there's one thing that Vinash is good for, it's fucking fighting. I will get it back.
I don't doubt it. You've got the power of what, like 10 or 11 other Paragons on your side? And the Paragon killer, there's only one of them, right? And there's like a million of you.
It's 6.
Just stay together, okay? Sitlali is right. You all have a huge fucking bullseye on all of your backs right now. The Paragon killer clearly knows who you are and how to get to you. But they only attacked you when you were alone, Oka. And I bet there's a reason they're waiting until the first snow of winter or whatever the fuck poetic dream fuckery to strike the Emperor, because that's when she'll be alone too, presumably. Just don't ever be alone, okay? Always take a buddy, even when you have to just take a piss in the middle of the night. Never go anywhere by yourself.
Thank you, Mercy.
That's an order.
That's right. Listen to your second.
I don't have a second.
You do, it's me.
I will not argue tonight. Gentle.
Coward.
I whisper to Jiran and Morosi, it's good to be home. That's it.
I think Jiran chuckles and just kind of like puts an arm around Gentle's shoulders and squeezes.
Let's have a good rest of the night together, okay? Oka, you can regale us with tales of your heroism, of which I'm sure there are many, quelling the rage, stopping the undeath, whatever bullshit was happening at the championship that we missed because we were on, well, long story short, I'm sure there's a lot you can tell us and a lot we can tell you.
We can skip the undeath, I think.
And everything before Nabal.
Uh-huh. I mean, don't you want to tell Oka about your exploits, Jiran? And Mercy sort of like slings like an arm around your shoulder and like starts guiding your group like back toward the campfire where like drinks and that haunch is still roasting.
I think when Mercy says that, Sitlali locks eyes with Jiran.
Jiran like briefly makes eye contact with Sitlali before very, very quickly looking away.
And I think they come up to you. Casually, as we are all casually moving. And in Raven's speech, says to you, so are you going to tell them? Or am I?
I guess I should.
Because I can do it right now, if you want.
Sitlali, why do you want them to know so badly?
I don't think that matters.
It does to me.
It shouldn't, because it clearly none of it meant anything to you, right? That's the impression I'm getting.
You want to do this here?
Where else is there to do it?
Maybe not right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, right, because you've got your little Oka back. Because you don't need me for anything. That's right.
That's You're the one who asked the question, Sitlali. If you recall, it wasn't my idea.
But you did answer.
If you hadn't asked, it wouldn't have happened that way.
And what about the second time?
Second time, you were you.
And it still meant nothing.
I never said that it meant nothing.
No, but
Sitlali.
actions speak louder.
You ignored me after both times and went back to Mercy as if nothing happened. Sitlali, don't project your own insecurities onto me.
Fine. And they stalk away.
Wu-Ming, who is the only other person who understands Raven's speech, has been sat there looking between the two of you, their eyes glittering with delight and curiosity. And as Sitlali stalks away, they just turn over to Gentle. They lean in and they say into Gentle's ear,
Those two have a lot of problems.
Yeah. I think a lot of problems is a requirement for being a hound.
I know. It's why I left.
You're the smartest one of us all.
mm-hmm. And Wu-Ming starts crunching on more of those, like, you don't know how they got it, but more of those, like, stimulating, like, tea leaves.
I am the smartest one of you all.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Hey, I think there's something I kind of want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't we do that later, like away from everybody?
What? I'm
What?
not I was thinking maybe we could have a funeral or something. I wasn't kidding when I said that I died last week again. And I died here the first time. And I was thinking maybe we could have a funeral for the people we used to be. And maybe reintroduce ourselves as the people we want to be.
All right, you big sad sack of bones and blood. Get on up. Let's spitball these eulogies. Come on.
I distinctly remember you being very, very upset when I was almost dead like an hour ago.
You were misremembering in the haze of coming back to life. I was completely unaffected. Unaffected by your absence, kid.
Yeah, I miss you too, Mercy.
Anyway, Mercy sort of thumps you on the back, maybe a little too hard given your fragile physical state. Sorry. All right, get up. I've got alcohol to pour out onto the ground for those we've lost, i.e. ourselves. Let's go first. You know what? As your leader, I'll go first. Mercy holds out like this big flask of, I think, like still Kyrian beer, like from way back. Like when you met Selim, like she still has some beer left. Like holds it out, uncorks it, and you all smell the really strong like stench of like fermentation of like mare's beer, you know, fermented from like mare's milk or something. Holds it out. All right, this, you know what? This is for you, Ruth. For the girl I used to be. For the ruthless killer Hinso wanted me to become. Man. You know, there are still days where I wish I could be you, where I could be ruthless. I could just kill whoever got in my way, but that's not me. That's not who I want to be, not anymore. Because fuck it, this world sucks ass. But sometimes it doesn't. And those times, it's worth fighting for. That was a good one, right? Was that good or was that bad?
What the fuck is she talking about?
We'll talk about it later.
All right. This one's for you, kiddo. Chasm girl. And Mercy, like, pours out a stream of beer. And it, like, splashes onto the ground. And she writes it up again and then chugs the rest. Ah. All right. You know what? Wu Ming, why don't you go next? Wu Ming hops to her feet. And she's like, you know, kind of vibrating from the tea leaves she just munched. And she pulls out like a tiny little flask and uncorks it. And you all smell like vodka or like gin or something. Some sort of like clear white alcohol, like suffusing the air. She goes,
Okay. Well, I tend to like myself a lot. There isn't really a Wu Ming I'd like to say goodbye to, necessarily, but there is a Wu Ming I'd like to say hello to. And that's the Wu Ming on the other side of the cataclysm, when Andake is whole again, when the Paragons have rescued us. Well, hopefully not all of them are as, well, no offense, Oka, but a little unhinged as you. But I believe in you. I believe in the Paragons. I believe in the friends of the Paragons. Even more, maybe.
And Wu Ming turns and smiles at Jiran, Sitlali, and most of all, Gentle.
But most of all, I believe in Andake. I believe in our 8 great nations and all the people of the realm coming together to fight this cataclysm and take our home back. And go back to the days where Galtanger was in the sky and the 8 were glimmering at night. That's what I want. So I suppose the Wu Ming I'm saying goodbye to is the Wu Ming right now. And the Wu Ming I'm gonna say hello to is the one in the future when everything's okay again. That's all.
And she like like pours out some gin and then sips it a little and steps back.
I can go next. And I sort of awkwardly stand up, and I'm holding just a little mug of tea. I guess this is a funeral to the version of me that was always so full of love, but unable to let the people I saw know I cared about them. I want to be able to be me without the mask on, and smile at people and look at people and help encourage people when they need it, and be able to build bridges and be a more open friend. And I pour a little bit of tea out and then just politely sip it and sit back down.
Okay, I guess I will go next. Duran stands up with like, I think just like a water skin or something. Yeah, I guess this is a funeral for the version of me that wasn't able to accept how they felt. And like Duran looks over at Oka as they say that. I was angry for a long time. I was hurt, and I refused to acknowledge any of that, really. And I did things that I'm not proud of to deal with that. But I think I'm in a place where I can let that go now. I think through different people, through all of you, really. I can be more honest with myself, with all of you, about how I feel. And so, yeah, that's the me I hope that you will all see going forward. I think Jeron sits back down at that.
My name is not Makoya Hyen. My name is also not Okahye. My name is Oka Hyen. To accepting change and fighting for the love you want to see in the world. And they just kind of, again, kind of like dab at what is now like dry blood, you know, and like just kind of put their hands in the dirt.
I think through everybody's eulogies, Zitlali has been taking off their plate armor. And when it finally comes away, it reveals that the web of new scars kind of culminate directly over their heart in this mass of like writhing sort of Lichtenberg scars. I don't know who the fuck I am. And I don't know who the fuck I've ever been. I've been everyone and no one. Shoots a quick look at Jeron. And my alarm goes off to kill the mood. I don't know what the fuck happens now. That is the first time I have ever admitted that I don't know something. Don't get used to it.
Cheers, Zitlali.
Cheers, Gremlin.
To not knowing ourselves, because fuck it, who does?
Fuck it, I'll drink to that. Ah, nice Foley work.
I will come back. I promise.
You need an escort back to wherever you're going.
Are you just saying that because you want to see the palace?
I don't give a fuck about the palace. You almost killed me to save yourself, so I have a slightly vested interest.
I can help Oka back to the palace in the morning. I think we all should rest, though, for the night. It's much too dangerous to be moving at night. That seems to be where these monsters thrive, in the shadows, in the dark.
They're empty. The way the shadows are.
All right then. Let's wind down for the night. Good funeral, y'all. Classic Hounds group therapy. Am I right?
Really gotta stop doing that.
This is
Well,
like
there's
the fourth
other
session.
things you should stop doing. What was that, Gentle?
This is like the fourth time we've had group therapy. It really keeps happening, and it doesn't work as much as I'd hope.
Well, if we
Well-
keep doing it.
And things keep happening. To be
That's
fair.
true. That's true. We do keep having to process. All right. Sidlali, darling, can I show you something in my tent? Can I just steal you away for a few moments as the night winds down?
Of course.
All right, don't get too crazy without us. And Mercy gets up and like steers Sidlali like toward their tent. As Woomin goes,
All right. Anyone else want any more of this deer haunch?
Hey, Jerron, you wanna?
Yeah.
Could I bum a smoke?
I think Jerron pulls out the Oka cigarette box that they left for him. Last one, just for you.
Wow, it looks like shit.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
If you're going to flirt, please do it away from Gentle and myself. We are trying to have a nice evening tea with some deer haunch. Jerron's tent is right over there. I put a lot of pillows and blankets in it.
Good, because it's fucking cold.
I think Jerron stands up and grabs Oka's hand and pulls them into his tent.
okay. And as Jiran and Oka disappear into their tent, and Mercy pulls Sidlali for probably similar reasons back into their tent, leaves only Wooming and Gentle out in the cold, around the fire. And Wooming turns to you, Gentle, and says,
I have a feeling that sometimes you're left out alone when this happens in your group, so I'm glad I'm here to share some company with you this time around, Gentle.
Would you believe me if I said every time?
Oh, that's awful. You know what I do when I used to get left alone by Mercy because she'd forget I was there?
What?
I'd write poetry. Or I'd sing to myself. Or I'd draw. I'd work on some sort of hobby and it would take my mind off of the loneliness. But nothing was ever as good as having a conversation with a friend. So I'm glad I'm having that with you right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better about having people around, and I'm really glad to have you here. And maybe I'll start writing poetry too. That might help.
Why don't you give it a try? I'd love to read your poetry when we come back and meet again, Gentle.
I just sort of smile softly and just mutter. I have not even a poem, I guess, but a line. If that's okay.
Please, I would love to hear it.
I'm tired of the dark. I want to fight for sunrise.
That's beautiful, Gentle. I hope we can
Thank
see
you.
that sunrise soon together.
Me too.
Are you gonna eat this deer haunch, or am I gonna have to finish it?
We can share.
Okay.
I'll brew up another thing of tea.
Please! I'm feeling the caffeine one starting to really kick in. You can see her feathers starting to ruffle as she cuts a piece of the deer haunch away. And I think we pull away. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I have another one that's good to counterbalance this. It's a sleepy time one.
Yes, please. I would really like a sleepy one tea. Sleepy time one tea? Sleepy one time tea.
It works really good.
Really appreciate it, Gentle. Thank you for sharing your tea with me.
And Wu Ming continues to cut away the deer haunch, right? I think we're gonna sort of like pull out of like this like winding down campsite as like Oka and Jiran are in their own tent, Mercy and Sitlali are in their own tent, and Wu Ming and Gentle are sharing tea and meat and company and fire. And as we like pan up toward like the starless night sky, right, like away from like the fire, we see I think the sky slowly become bright, right? As like time passes by and like day starts rolling in, the gray fingers of dawn stretching interminably across the atmosphere, turning everything bright all at once, like universal dimmers sliding slowly up in an unnatural sunrise. And as we pan back down, we see sort of like a time lapse of like people coming out of tents, snuffing out the fire, the last watch being picked up, like tents being broken down, knapsacks being packed, etc. We see like Wu Ming like helping like Oka maybe like pull down like canvas over there. We see like Sitlali and Mercy working together to pull pegs out over here, etc. And finally, we're gonna like slow down this like fast montage of like wrapping up the campsite in the morning to see Oka seeing the hounds off.
So don't fucking get lost.
So don't fucking die.
Don't worry, I want my job back.
You will have to reapply. It's very competitive.
I look forward to competing. And Oka actually smiles kind of softly. I will say this only one time, Sitlali. I'm glad you're second. You're a good hunter.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't quite catch it the first time.
I said only once. Your fault, not mine.
I had a decent example to follow.
Stop it. I'm gonna get a toothache from all this sweetness. Jiran, Gentle, say goodbye. Come on.
Gentle.
I'll see you again.
Yeah. When you get to Dr. Luso's, the tea, the leaves, I know they're kind of fucked up, but if you plant them, maybe you can grow more. We have a lot of nightmares.
I can absolutely do that if it means I can make not just your life, but your friend's life easier. A friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Mercy. Take care of them. And let them take care of you, please.
If there's anything these past couple of months have taught me, it's that, yeah, I'm better off with these assholes by my side. This isn't goodbye, Oka. It's see you later. Got it?
I know. I promise. Catch you later, pretty boy. And Oka's wings, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Wait, before you leave, I think Jerron walks up to Oka, rummaging in their pack, and pulls out 8 scrolls. I have something for you.
What are those?
Letters. For you. I've been writing them ever since the cataclysm, and I've figured that you should get to read them. They're not always kind, but
Yeah, but neither am I.
and one other thing. And Jerron kind of goes to their horns and pulls out one of their threads, and then holds Oka's wrist and kind of like ties it like a bracelet around their wrist, so that we'll never truly be apart.
Stars kiss me.
And I think Jerron does.
And then it's okay, kind of nods, 2 steps back. See you all again soon. And then it's wings out, like twice as big as they used to be, because now that they're tangible, they need to be a lot bigger to actually carry them. These like huge white feathered wings just erupt out of Oka's back, and with like 1, 2, poof, and they go like up into the canopy, right through it, and they like beat once, twice, and then they disappear back towards Dokao.
You're supposed to be lying low.
They can't hit me up here. Well, they did that one time. It's fine. It's faster this way.
You left
Bye.
booming.
Yeah, and I think like as soon as Oka's god wombing was like, I was gonna escort them. Typical. As like Oka like flies off into the distance, leaving the hounds in their wake. And the hounds as a group maybe all like turn, right, to face the direction of the Euclid chasm. Mercy shoulders her pack on and says, all right, come on, hounds, let's go. Yes, gentle, I can see your hand.
I need to tell you about something called Mr. Stripes later. And then I just sort of run off ahead.
Wait, gentle, what the fuck? And we end our miniseries there. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in to Volume 1 of Andake Anthologies, The Hounds of Mercy. Woo, 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 woo. Let's get some hype in chat. Yay! We have hit our dono goal. We've blasted past it. We have ended. This is the official count. We have ended with $542.69 nice cents raised, half for charity and half for us. So thank you all so much to everyone who's donated. It means literally the world to us. I have been your GM and executive producer, Connie, pronouns they, he, and she. Find me on Patreon, Itch, and most of all, Twitter at by Connie Chong. Up above, I'm going to pass along introductions to Quinn.
Hey, hello, I'm Quinn. I've been your resident bitchy grave cleric this evening. My pronouns and her pronouns are they and she. You can find me on Twitter at Quintastic_. There are links to all of my stuff there. Dare.
Wasn't ready. Violence. Hi, I'm Dare. I'm going to have these lit up because it's kind of funny to me. If you like what I do, you can check me out on Twitter and TikTok at NBDare. That is ENBYDARE. I am a writer. I do a million things online. I want to start by shouting out a project of a couple of close friends of mine. It is an amazing podcast about Black representation in media called Blurred of Mouth. I really recommend that. It's incredible. It's very funny. It is really good. Once again, Blurred of Mouth. And to things I did last night, I hyperfixated and wrote a game. So if you like games about sadness and death and memories, but in a very wholesome, loving way, I'd recommend checking out Walking in Twilight, A Guide to After the End. You can find it on nbdare.itch.io/twilight. It is a labor of love and a sequel to the other game I've written, When the Sun Dies, which warms my heart and makes me sad every time. So please check that out. If you like dice, I'd recommend going to dieharddice.com using the promo code DARE for 15% off because it's the holiday season. If you happen to like Black-owned coffee businesses that are also queer-owned, I'd recommend going to grindingcoffee.co and using the promo code FOREST for 10% off there. And I will pass it along to Humna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and today I have, or not today, but for the whole mini-series, I have been Dron Kother, your resident sad boy. I am a TTRPG performer, and you can find me on Twitter at @hshahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. One of the other campaigns that I'm currently a part of is on the Friends Who Roll Dice channel, where I play Invisible Sun on Sunday evenings at, I believe it's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And actually, fun fact, C is also in that campaign. So if you like both of us and the things that we do and you want to see us argue more, you should definitely come watch us in that stream as well. And I will pass it along to C.
All right, y'all. Hey, my name's C. I use they, them pronouns. I am a dancer, tabletop streamer, and a digital artist. I do have plans to open up my commission slots this November, so take a look at that, maybe if I have time, because there's lots of fun stuff in the work. Pie Sharp Art, go follow me there if you want to see me do some very gay Hounds art, because I'll be doing some very gay Hounds art. So catch me doing that kind of stuff. Like Humna said already, I am also on the Invisible Sun campaign on Friends Who Roll Dice, which is super fun on Sunday nights, as they have already said so generously. I also want to be the one, if you've stuck around this long, stick around for just one more moment, because there is a kind of exciting teaser, isn't there? This was a rather odd end to the Hounds of Mercy, don't you think? Don't you think, chat? This was a rather odd way to end a mini-series. It seems like there should be more. Doesn't it seem like there should be more? Perhaps even like in line with the main campaign. It's rather odd, don't you think? All I'm saying is keep your ears out December 1st and see what we have cooking in the backstage, because maybe one day we're all going to have cat ears like Dare. Man. And with that, I'll pass it over to Connie.
Absolutely. It was so good.
Everyone's so mad about that. Come on.
Catboy C confirmed. You got your titties
I don't
chopped off,
want
and now your
ears.
cat ears come out. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Stick around for the raid, even if you can't stick around to raid this channel. Say hi, give them a follow. This is the actual play, twitch.tv/actual play, run by Sean Nittner. They're currently playing Blaze in the Dark with Kristen Devine and Jammy of Sword Queen Games. We love Jammy! They're an incredible himbo, non-binary Filipinx game designer. Who's awesome, and they're a really fantastic GM that I take a lot of cues from in terms of doing like emotional GMing. They're so good at asking leading questions. So yeah, give them a follow, check them out. Say it's do the plane shift raid command. We love you all so much. I'm gonna start that raid. We will see you this coming Saturday for episode 9 of Arc 4 of Transplanar RPG at 3 p.m. US Central Time this Saturday. Bookmark it. We love you all. Spijo. Spijo mijo. Spimbim. Spimbim.